Good morning, everyone. This is MV broadcasting live from Cardiff, UK. It's the 11th of June in real time, 2023. Time is 2:18 in the UK. So, in North America, well, most of my chums are for baseball. Let's see now, that would be what, 10 o'clock in the morning? Probably 11 o'clock in the morning, but it's before lunch anyway. So, welcome. I love Harry Shanks. Thank you, Beatles Eternally, for handing on the baton. And we look forward to some more games coming up in August. So we'll see what's simming through quite quickly. Probably going to do a game or two. Probably go for two. Let's play two, as Ellie Banks would say. And then probably sim a week so that Steve or Beatle could pick up, if not myself, at some point. I mean, it's a day off today for me. Back to work tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday more likely to do some more Howie Shanks on my end. But yeah, busy weekend, been a fruitful weekend for the most part. So here we go. So here we got the schedule at the moment. We can tell by the division, Jersey and Detroit are locked together, lockstep. That's Big Clue's Jersey, 67-41, and also Detroit 67-41. But we also have Manchester Red Bulls staying in contention, 5 games back. That's my Red Bulls. Lawrence's Hawaii Volcanoes 8 games back, and Mudville 10 games out. All can still win it. Cleveland also. In fact, really Des Moines down to Des Moines. I think North Sound may be out now. Arlington and Badlands can play spoiler and have been. So, without further ado, let's look at the lineup for today. We've got Detroit at Des Moines. We could do Des Moines. Very active member is Rob Tomlinson. And that is against Steve Tate. Gooden versus Carlton. That looks like a good game. We could do Hawaii Cleveland. Cleveland with Rob. The other Rob. Todd, sorry. It's Verlander versus Wood. Then we got Jersey Manchester, which I cannot broadcast. That is as much as I'd love to. Jersey, Manchester, Red Bulls. Red Bulls always put up an exciting match. Coming from behind or blowing a lead. Either way, they are exciting. That's just a biased opinion. We've got North Sound at Mudville. Mudville, looking to see if Babe Ruth continues to pick up. He's had a really slow season, but not with home runs. Arlington at Badlands, that's a silver spoon matchup. And that wouldn't be such a bad matchup, to tell you the truth. There's some matchups here. It says double header. So we'll ambitiously, let's have a look. Detroit, Des Moines. Let's see if anyone's in the house yet. If you're shuffling through your breakfast this morning, so say shuffling, going through your breakfast this morning. If you're in North America. If you're over here, it's lunchtime. So, without further ado, I'm not sure if you can hear me at all because I didn't have my microphone, or my microphone is on, but I'm not actually plugged my headset in. Oh, stupid man. Actually, don't talk myself down. I know better than that. Oh, just a little aberration. There we are, all plugged in. Sometimes I have to remember to plug out my phone and plug it in. So here we go. As I said, Detroit. So we've got a couple here. We've got North Sound, Mudville. Now, I'm going to go, we've seen a lot of Des Moines lately. I do like Harlan Clift, but Mudville haven't been on for a while and they're in the race. Let's see if they can do something here. So we're going to nudge North Sound at Mudville. And North Sound 2, Mudville 1. Mudville losing a tight one there. And they lost it. Case, it was Case. Look to see Babe Ruth slowly picking up, 1 for 3. I need to put my pictures on, so just bear with me a tick. Bear with me a tick. Rolls. And I have mine in my main folder. If you have it in a special folder, you do that. I have mine in my folder where I have it in my main folder, much to my detriment sometimes. But means I've got Steve Tate's wonderful creations. There they are. And we go back to where we were, scheduled lead game. So that's the first game down of the day. Let's see the second end of that doubleheader. Actually, we might watch though. It's Wyatt Alexander. Really, Johnny Wright's a hard man to beat. Wyatt and Alexander. Pete Alexander should take this one home. Let's do that one. And Mudville win 4-3. So 500 there for Mudville. Duffy Stanwise 3 for 4. John says a 2 for 4. Early Banks 1 for. Banks cooled off so dramatically in this season. And Fox 1 for 3. Pop Lloyd continues to do well in this league. 3 for 4. Excuse me. Last time I broadcast, my voice wasn't quite well. Seems to be holding up. There's an Arlington Badlands. And a tight matchup there goes to Arlington in the Battle of the Basement. There's Dave Orr, 2 for 4 for Arlington. Salvador Perez. Is he going to be a Hall of Famer one day? Who knows? 2 for 4. Wagner, and Hornsby. Hornsby batting over 300 now. Rogers Hornsby's finally got. I mean, wow. It's like he's been suffering all season, yet he's at 300. Wagner getting close. This team really needs some Dan Bruthers, in my opinion. He's the missing piece. They would kill at Bruthers in the lineup. Just my opinion, of course. Badlands. Gehrig having a season batting 296, 2 for 5, with 2 stolen, 2 doubles. Aaron Judge, modern day behemoth, 4 for 5. No, that was Pete Rose. So both these teams have got great players, just been performing so badly. It's pitching that's doing the problem for them, as I keep saying. Louis Tion, 8 and 13, drops to 8 and 13, and that's Hippo Vaughan, 10 and 11. He's holding well, Hippo. Gave only 5 home runs. 5 earned runs. Box. Let's do. We'll play Hawaii, Cleveland. Cotton. The thing is, Detroit are just so dominant. I know Rob Tomlinson wants to see that one, so I'll leave that one. We'll do this one next. Manchester at Jersey. Or Jersey at Manchester. And Manchester put it out in extra innings, thank you. So another game clawed back there for Manchester. Clayton Kershaw was pitching well, it looks like. Gave up 3 runs, 2 runs in the first. Manchester chipped away, and Lever blew the save. So Manchester coming back. Spud Chandler had been doing very well up until that point, until he had a really bad 7th inning. It looks like he was pulled. And Francisco Rodriguez, the man I hide behind the couch and watch, came in and gave up 2 hits on 2 innings. God, he's a nightmare. And Hiller got the save, a man who I've learned about this season. So there's Chase Utley, a man who's destined for the Hall of Fame, I believe, and Suzuki, 4 for 6. Delahanty, 3 for 5. So 17 hits apiece for both teams. But big clue, we took you down. Ripper Collins with 1 home run. A-Rod with a home run. And Lofton at the top of the order. 4 for 6. Kenny Lofton with 4 hits at the top of the order. I've brought Joe Morgan back in just slightly. A day off for Michael Jack Smith as Dehijo plays, it looks like. There's Big Daddy in the lineup again. So I've been messing around my lineup just trying to get it to work. Work, baby, work. So now we come to Cleveland and Hawaii and Good and Carlton. Which one do I play? Let's look and see if anyone's woken up in the chat. Not yet, amigo. Not yet. Look, as I just test things out. So nothing better than to just get into the ball game. Voice is ready. So which one? Or do I do both? Verlander Wood looks good. Both teams in the mix. But then so is Des Moines Detroit. Oh, it's tough. I'm going to go with Steve Carlton over Gooden. Let's play this one out. Because Rob Tomlinson would like to see it. Here we go. Here we go. Demons. The computer saying Steve Carlton. Load lineup versus Wright, I think. Let's have a look. Dwight Gooden on the mound. So So Demons won. Okay, so that's what it's got. That's fine. And I know that's his lineup. Yeah, that looks good too. Let's make sure. Aaron, so who's injured here for... you got Joe DiMaggio out till September. So there's a few changes there for Steve Tate in center field. He's got that covered with Hack Wilson. Bryce Harper hasn't played a few games for quite a while. Shooter's Joe still out there. So Steve, if you do catch this broadcast, you might want to get a bit jiggy with your lineup again, because I know that Shooter's Joe has played well for you. Having said that, who does he replace? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Manny Ramirez has been outstanding since he's come back in. Got a few games under his belt. So, Steve, if you're watching. And pitching. Oh, hang on a minute. Let's do a little integrity check here. How many players out? There's 1, 2, 3 out. 4 out. 5 out. Okay, so Steve's good. So, we're ready to go. Let's do this. Welcome to Wrigley Field for today's game between Detroit and Des Moines. Steve versus Rob Tomlinson. Detroit has won 5 straight. Dwight Gooden and Dr. K will start for Detroit. 20 starts on the year is 9-6, with a slightly high 4.64 ERA. This is his second start against Des Moines. He's 1-0 with a 4 ERA against Des Moines. He'll be opposed by lefty himself, Steve Carlton for Des Moines. 18 starts in the year is 8-7 with a 3.59 ERA. So 2 strikeout kings on the mound. This is his second start against Detroit. Detroit left fielder Barry Bonds is riding a 12-game hitting streak. It's 75 degrees, wind speed 70 miles per hour right to left. So, Wrigley Field, in this particular version of Wrigley Field, 2022, is not good for the home run hitter from the right-hand side. From the left-hand side, it's slightly more, well, actually, it's just as bad. Okay, let's do this. So, as we take a look, behind the plate for Des Moines, Ray Schalk is the catcher. First base, Todd Helton. Helton's slightly below par at first. Second base, Bobby Grich, having a difficult time with the bat. At shortstop, Mr. Clutch himself, Edgar Renteria. Cleveland fans, bury your faces. Third base, the man I particularly like is Harlan Clift. 293 batting average. Left field, been quiet in the league, is Frank Robinson, still batting near 300. Center field, the graceful in center fielder Andrew Jones, but Jones struggling with the bat. Robs persists to play him. In right field, Giancarlo Stanton, a big hitting right fielder. All of these guys are superb in the field. And on the mound, Steve Carlton, lefty himself. Carlton is 8-7 with a 3.59 ERA and a 1.177 WHIP. It's done well. Demons 52-54. Demons trying to get back to 500. I think they're about 12 games out. Detroit trying to hang on to the lead. At the top of the league with Steve Tate, neck and neck. So, Detroit is Steve Tate. Steve Tate and Jersey. And Jersey dropped a game to their rivals, Manchester Red Bulls. So here we go. Let's do this. Stepping up is Hank Aaron. Detroit 5-game winners of 5 straight. Aaron been a surprise inclusion in the game, as in he's not the best home run hitter on a laden team, but I think he's their most valuable player. Wind speed 70 miles per hour. Let's just do a quick display check as Aaron lines it down to third base, and he will get in safe at first. As we want to put the replay stats up there, something I've just learned. So Aaron, this is it now. You can see the replay stats. I'd always had the real stats on there. So Aaron at first is threat to steal, 83%. And that brings up Fred Dunlap. Dunlap batting .322 with 20 ribbies and 72 ribbies, 79 ribbies, fourth in the league with our average. Carlton checks the runner, and a blooper to left and straight at Harlan Clift. One away. Brings up Barry Bonds. Bonds from the left-hand side, batting .329, 28 RBIs, 28 home runs, 79 ribbies. 12-game hitting streak. McGuire on deck. Runner on first. Carlton checks first. Here's the 3-1. Low and outside with that cutter, and Bonds is on. So 2 men on, man in scoring position. Mark McGuire steps up. 34 home runs on the season. Runs in first and second. Carlton sets. Here's the 3-1. And that fastball low and inside, and McGuire goes on to first. The bases loaded, full of Coyotes. Early on, this drafting masterpiece from Steve Tate. I mean, it's just laden everywhere you go. Hack Wilson steps in, hitting fifth, batting .208. Bases loaded. Here's a 2-2 from lefty, and he strikes him out. Wilson goes back to the bench. Did not get what he was looking for, as that fastball cut him in half. There is Johnny Bench. Hello, D. Scott Howard. How you doing? Long time no see. Your North Sound team split a game today with Mudville. You're not out of it, but some of your batters like Ernie Banks is struggling a bit. Not sure why Ernie started so well. Here we go. Johnny Bench steps in. 1 grand slam on the season. Runners, bases loaded. Here's a 2-2 from lefty, and lefty gets out of the inning. Paid in the outside corner with that fastball. No runs, 1 hit, no errors after 1/2 inning. Detroit nothing. Des Moines coming to bat. Leading off for them in the bottom of the first is Harlan Clift. So D. Scott, what are you playing these days? It's Dr. K on the mound for Detroit. Here's the 0-2 to Health to Clift. And Doc Gooden gets his first strikeout. What a beautiful pitcher he was to watch. With that big leg kick, that smooth delivery, and that curveball they called Lord Charles. Some Sunday morning baseball if you're in North America. Here's Todd Helton, 281. He's digging in. Gooden gets a sign. Here's the 1-2, and there's another strikeout for Doc Gooden. 2 in a row for the doctor. He's operating. Robinson comes up. Here's the 0-2 to Robinson. Struck him out. So Dwight Gooden looking good as he comes off the mound. We're seeing the doctor already operating in the first inning. And Steve Carlton back on the mound. Both strikeout pitchers. Manny Ramirez steps up. He's already batting .324. Here's the 2-1, and Manny strokes us into left field. Base hit. He got a hold of that fastball. Hit it to short left field. Frank Robinson will pick it up and fire it back in. So runners on for the Coyotes. Carlton pitched himself out of a jam in the first. Here's Felton Snow. First star hitter, batting .306. Concepcion on deck, runner on first. Here's the fastball, and Snow will put it down, and then Renteria will get it at second. Nice throw by Shock to Renteria. As that bunt threatened, but Shock was too quick. Snow is on first, but to get the lead runner. Nice barehanded throw by Ray Shock behind the plate. Up steps Dave Concepcion, batting .199, 2 home runs and 33 ribbies. Master defensive player. Here's Steve Carlton with the first pitch. And as pitches a strike, Shock will find out a second, and Gritch will lay the tag on, and there's another out. So, the Coyotes running himself out of contention there. Another out, another right. Ray Shock on fire. There's Concepcion. Now he'll step in, batting 199, 2 home runs, as I said. Here's the 0-1 from lefty, straight to Helton. So Concepcion grounds it straight to Helton. Helton will take it to the bag. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 1.5, Detroit nothing, Des Moines nothing. Have a look at that Detroit defense. Behind the plate, Johnny Bench. First baseman Mark McGuire having a season there with 34 home runs as we hit August. Fred Dunlap at second. Shortstop is Dave Concepcion. Third base is Felton Snow, the Negro Leaguer. Left field, Barry Bonds having a good season. In center field, replacing Joe DiMaggio, who's out now till September, is Hank Wilson. And in right field, hammering Hank himself. We've seen Shoeless Joe go down for a while, so maybe Steve Tate's got a few maneuverings to do. Here is Stanton now at the plate. He'll lead off. Here's the 0-2 from Gooden. And that is in curveball. There's the Lord Charles, and that's on the inside corner. And Stanton is surprised. Another ringer for Dwight Gooden. 4 men up, 4 men down. Doc Gooden looking good on the mound. Gooden on the season is 9-6 with a 4.60 ERA. Here's Edgar Renteria now, stepping in. Here's the 0-2 and a grounder to left field, and it gets past Concepcion. Base hit for Renteria. A man who, when he was on my channel anyway, he always performs. Stepping up is Ginger Beaumont, the DH. Gooden will throw it at first. Renteria dives for the bag. He gets back. Renteria has threat to steal. Runner on first. Gooden checks first. He's ready. Here's the 1-1. And Beaumont hits it on the ground between first and second. Dunlap moves his right, gets it over to Concepcion. They get the lead runner, but Beaumont is safe at first. Fred Dunlap electric at second base, as is Concepcion. Couldn't turn a double play though. Gooden looks in. Bench will put the signs down. Gooden will fire the first, and Beaumont lunges for the base. He's back safely. Ginger Beaumont, a slight threat to steal. Gooden checks the runner. Gooden with the first base. And again, the runner thrown out. Beaumont going down to second. Thrown out by Johnny Bench. Dunlap put the tag on, so that ends the inning after 2. No runs, 1 hit, no errors there for Des Moines. So after 2, Detroit nothing, Des Moines nothing. Des Moines in a little pack with Mudville, North Sound, and Cleveland. All trying to get back into the race. Still 2 months to go. Leading off the third inning is hammering Hank Aaron, batting .337, 18 home runs, 58 ribbies. Carlton with a 2-0 pitch. Grounder up the middle, great diving play by Gritch. He fires it over the first, got him. Nice play there from his knees by Bobby Gritch. This team defensively is outstanding. Des Moines are very able in the field. Here's Fred Dunlap now. 4th in the league with a batting average of .431. Carlton is ready. Here's the 1-2. Dunlap lines it straight at Bobby Gritch. And that brings up the left fielder, Barry Bonds. He walked in the first. 2 out here at the top of the third inning. Lefty versus lefty. McGuire on deck. Here's the 3-2. And that's hit into right field. Base hit. Stanton will pick it up and throw it back in. And Barry Bonds has hit safely in 13 straight games. He's on first. Top of the third inning. 2 men out for the Coyotes. Scoring nothing. And steps Mark McGuire with a league-leading 34 home runs. McGuire walked the first time up. The runner on first. Carlton gets a sign. Here's the 2-2. And that fooled McGuire. A fastball fooled McGuire there. And he's out, and that ends the innings. No runs, 1 hit, no errors after 2.5. Detroit nothing, Des Moines nothing. Go to the bottom of the third. Jones will lead off. And here is Gooden on the 3-2, and he strikes out Andrew Jones. No question, Andrew Jones overmatched at this level. Here's Bobby Grich to face Gooden, batting only .216 on the year. 3 balls and no strikes from Gooden. Just outside by Gooden, he loses Grich, and Grich would go to first. Brings up Ray Schalk. Rob Thomason really persisting with his low-hitting players. Schalk steps in, runner on first. Here's the 0-2 from Gooden. Paints the outside corner, and he strikes him out for his 6th strikeout. Dwight Gooden looking good. Here's Harlan Clift. 2 out. Runner on first. Gooden throws to first. Grich back safely. Grich not a threat to steal. Now here's Gooden with the 0-2 and a hard ground hit to Concepcion over to Dunlap. And that ends the inning. 3 outs. No runs, no hits, no errors after 3 complete. Detroit nothing. Des Moines nothing. As I'm just hearing, the SNP former leader in the UK has been arrested. Oh my goodness. British politics at the moment. Oh my God. We had Boris resign yesterday. His favourite person, Nadine Dorries, resigned yesterday. Was it Nadine Norris? Doris. And now we've had another one today. The former Scottish minister who'd been advocating for independence has just been arrested. Wow. Stepping in is Hank Wilson. He'll lead off. Carlton with a 2-0. Here's the Uncle Charlie from him, and that's hit deep by Hank Wilson. That one's out of here. Stanton can only watch it as the Coyotes break the deadlock. 1-0. Carlton left a curveball there, and Hank Wilson took it 373 feet. There's Johnny Bench, 0 for 1. Carlton has a sign. Here's the 0-1. And a base hit. That's going to be 2. As Bench will motor around a second. Stanton will pick it up off the ivy. And now the Coyotes just opening up just a bit. Still score 1-0. Manny Ramirez will step in. Single to left. Here we go. Carlton runners on second. Here's the 0-1. Ground as a short. Great play by Renteria, but it's Frank Helton off the bag. Helton cannot dig that out. Bench will score. Ramirez safe at first. 2-0 Coyotes. Felton Snow steps up. Runner on first. Carlton gets a sign. Snow with the bunt. Ramirez will get to second. Wow. Carlton pitching a good game so far, but he's given up 2 hits. Here's Concepcion, grounded out last time up the plate. Here's the runner on second, Ramirez. Carlton gets a sign. Carlton with the first pitch, fastball, and that's hit deep to right center. And Stanton will have it. Ramirez thinks about tagging up, but Stanton has a big arm. Don't run on that arm. And that brings up Hank Aaron to the plate. Runner on second. 1-0 count from lefty. Grounder straight to Helton. Helton will take that to the bag. Aaron is out. And that is the end of the inning. After 3.5, Detroit 2, Des Moines nothing. Helton steps in, 0 for 1. Gooden looks. Here's the 3-0. High and away, and he walks Todd Helton. So Todd Helton on first. Brings up Frank Robinson, who struck out in the first inning last time up. Man on first, that's Helton. Gooden checks the runner. Here's the 1-1 curveball, and that's hit foul. Helton was breaking for second there. Nice sunny day here at Wrigley Field. It's August the 3rd. Doc Gooden operating today. Run on first, Gooden looks to first, sets. Here he fires with a 1-2. And a base hit up the middle for Frank Robinson. Aaron will pick it up. And now Des Moines have runner in scoring position. And the guy at the plate is Giancarlo Stanton. Stanton represents the go-ahead run at the plate. Struck out last time up. The shift is on. Men on first and second. Here's the 1-2. And a fly ball down to left field, but Ben Bonds will have it as the ball bends in towards Barry Bonds in left field. And it's one away. Still 2 men on. Todd Helton at second. Frank Robinson at first. Ginger Bowman on deck. And Edgar Renteria, Mr. Clutch. 1-for-1 steps in. Grounds at first and say, here's the 1-0 from Doc. Ground ball to third to short. Concepcion to Dunlap to McGuire. Double play. Lovely play by another backhanded play by Renteria at short. Concepcion at short. To turn the double play with Dunlap and McGuire. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors after 4 innings. Detroit 2, Des Moines nothing. We'll go to the top of the 5th inning. Leading off is Fred Dunlap. Here's the 1-2 from Colton, and Dunlap swings and misses. Struck him out. Stepping up next is Barry Bonds. He's walked and grounded a single so far. He's 1-for-1. McGuire on deck. First pitch to Bonds. And that's popped up to second. Rich will have that one. Good curveball from Steve Cotton. And Bonds is out of there. Brings up Mark McGuire. Struck out and walked in the ball game. He's 0-for-1. McGuire has 34 taters on the year. Carlton looks in. 1-1 to count. And it's a pop-up through third. And Harlan Cliff, my favorite player, drifts across the stands, and he'll take that one. So after 4.5, Detroit 2, Des Moines nothing. Good morning, USA. Good morning around the world. Good afternoon in Europe. This is a game between Detroit and Detroit leading against the middle of the pack Demons. Doc Gooden on the mound. Dwight Gooden so far. He's pitched 4 innings, giving him only 2 hits, and has got 6 strikeouts. Ginger Bowman steps to the plate. He grounded out second inning. Here's the 1-2 from Doc Gooden, and that's laced into left field by Beaumont. That's against the wall. Bonds and Wilson converge on it. And Wilson, so Hack Wilson dived for it and did not get the ball. Had to be retrieved by Barry Bonds. And that's a double for Ginger Beaumont. Here's Andrew Jones, struck out in the third. Grich is up next. Runner on second. Here's the 1-2 from Doc Gooden, and that fastball blows him away. Andrew Jones just not matched up well here. 1 out. Runner in scoring position with Des Moines. As Des Moines trying to push through. Grich at the plate. Walk to the third. Runner on second. First time to Grich. And Beaumont go for third, and that's fired down by Johnny Bench, and he gets him. Wow, Johnny Bench is having a game today. I slow down the play-by-play just a touch. Grich steps in. Walked, and he's only time up in the ball game. Here's the 1-0 from Gooden, and a slow roller to Concepcion, who gloves it, throws it over to McGuire. Got him. Grich is out of there. To end the inning, after 5 complete, Detroit 2, Des Moines nothing. Brings up Hack Wilson, who we saw hit a home run. Last time up, he's 1-for-2. Here's a 2-1 from lefty, and a base hit for Hack Wilson, who's having a game here today. And he is safe on first. Jones will toss it back in. And brings up Johnny Bench. 99 RBIs on the season for Johnny. Having a great season. Here's the 1-1. And that's a well-hit fly ball. That one is gone to left field. Home run number 30. RBIs, broken the 100 RBI barrier. Johnny Bench rips this to left field. Frank Robinson can only go back and look, and that one is gone. And Detroit extend their lead now, 4-0. Top of the 6th. Nobody out. Ramirez steps in now. Manny Ramirez. Base is empty. Here's the 3-1. And Steve Carlton gives up a walk. His third walk of the ball game. So lefty getting taken deep. Up until that point, he'd been pitching reasonably well. Here's Felton Snow. 0 for 1 today. Runner on first. Here's the 0-2. And it's on the outside part of the plate, and that gets rid of Felton. Dave Concepcion steps in. Runner on first. Here's the 1-2. Fastball. And that's cut straight back to Carlton. Carlton grabs it over to Helton. They get Concepcion, and Ramirez will go down to second. It's such a powerful lineup that when you get down to Concepcion, it's the only breather you have. Stepping up is Hank Aaron, another example of how deep this lineup is. Runner on second. Carlton has the sign. Here's the 0-2. And a deep fly ball down the left field line. Robinson getting back. That one is gone. Another 2-run home run. Hank Aaron sends us out of here. And that might be it for Steve Carlton. Dunlap now with a bat. Carlton sets. Here's the 3-0. High. Now we have the 5 earned run rule, or is it a 6 earned run? I'm sure Rob's team is set up to replace a pitcher if he's at 6 earned runs. Quick check. Steve Carlton always pull with. He's pulled after 6 runs, so he's due to be pulled. So 1 more run maybe? I guess that's what it is. Didn't happen. Here's Barnes, 1 for 2. Barnes walk, popped out last time up. Runner on first. Carlton gets a sign from Shock. Here's the 2-0. And Barnes gets a piece of it, popped up to Todd Helton, who dives for it in the crowd to get that ball. Nice play by Todd Helton. And that's the end of that half inning after 5.5. Detroit have exploded here in the 6th inning. Des Moines nothing, Detroit 6. Leading off for Des Moines, Ray Shock. Struck out last time up. Here's the 0-1 from Doc Gooden. Grounded straight to Concepcion, who moved his left, I should say. Nice fielding there by Concepcion for the out. Here's Harlan Cliff batting .292. Helton on deck. Good with the 0-1. Ground ball up the middle. Great play by Concepcion, who dives to his left, swivels, and sends it on the first. That's another out. Great play by Concepcion. He threw him from his knees. Wow. Dave Concepcion flashing his glove. 2 out here. Bottom of the 6th inning. Helton steps in against Gooden. Here's a 3-1. High and tight. And Helton will draw the base on balls. 95 miles an hour on the gun there for Dwight Gooden. Gooden has got 7 strikeouts in the game. And Frank Robinson now. Lined a single last time up. They could do it. He's back right now. Bench out to talk to Gooden. The left fielder Robinson steps in. Mount on first. Gooden checks the runner. Here's a high leg kick. And he kicks and deals, and he strikes out Frank Robinson for number 8 strikeout for Dwight Gooden. He's operating today. No runs, no hits, no errors after 6 complete. Detroit 6, Des Moines nothing. Leading off for Des Moines at top of the leading off for Detroit at top of the 7th inning, Mark McGuire. McGuire 0 for 2. And the 1-2 from lefty struck him out. So 1 more run, I think lefty will be pulled. Hack Wilson having an adventurous game. He's 2 for 3 today, replacing the injured Joe DiMaggio. And the 0-2 from lefty, and Shock trapped the ball he threw to first for the out, but that was a strikeout. Wilson, a lusty swing, and he's out of there. Ray Shock's had a good game. Both catchers have thrown out runners today. That brings up Johnny Bench. Last time up we saw him hit a 2-run tater. He's had a double and a home run. Johnny Bench, I never thought Johnny Bench would actually perform as well as he has done. He's batting well, 30 home runs. His real stats, he's in this kind of league, I think he's on target to match his stats. He had 45 home runs in 1970. He's had 30 so far. Carlton looks in. 2 out, top of the 7th. Carlton is ready. Here's a 2-0 and a shallow fly ball down the left field line. And Frank Robinson will camp under it, and it's an out. Welcome back here to the ballpark at Wrigley Field as Des Moines are hosting the runaway Detroit Coyotes. Shouldn't say runaway, they're actually tied for the lead with the Blue Claws. Gooden on the mound. He's ready. Stanton will lead off. The shift is on for Stanton. Here's the 1-0 and bounce back to Gooden, who kicks it. Oh, Gooden with the error. Stanton is safe at first. So quite good with an error there. And Edgar Renteria steps up. He's 1 for 2 today. Here's a 2-1. Ground ball to the right-hand side. McGuire has it. Tosses it to Gooden. And a little flip to Gooden covering gets the out. Stanton will move to second. Stepping in now is Ginger Beaumont, who doubled in the 5th. Man on second, that's Stanton. Here's the 0-2 from Dwight Gooden. Wild pitch. And Stanton will go to third. So can the Demons do something here to get the ball game rolling? They're being blanked by Doc Gooden. Gooden and Bench on the wrong page just now. Beaumont steps back into the box. It's 1-2 to count. And Ginger swings and misses. 2 down. Gooden with his 9th strikeout today. This is a vintage Doc Gooden performance. This is 1985 Doc Gooden. Gooden is ready as Andrew Jones steps in. Jones struck out twice. Runner on third. Here's the 0-2. Fastball, swing and a miss. Struck him out. 10 strikeouts with Dwight Gooden. And Andrew Jones is hearing it as he goes back to the bench. Maybe it's time for Rob Tomlinson to bench Andrew Jones. Hey, Christopher Slovic, hey, joining D. Scott Howard in the ballpark. Thank you for coming in, Chris. Not sure if you're about to broadcast. You and I tend to broadcast similar times, although I try to avoid your time. Looking forward to seeing that Out of the Park League cracks on. I haven't seen it recently, but I want to know how my division's going. The division laden with Mets, so I'll have to take a little butcher's hook to see what's going on. Now, I believe you're home safely. Am I hearing that right? And are you due back soon to the other place? So here we go. Good to have you back, Chris, anyway. Manny Ramirez steps in. He's 1 for 2. 0-1 pitch to Ramirez, and that's a base hit to left field. Frank Robinson will fire it back in. And thanks, Chris, the other day. I just know what you said. It's good to hear my voice. This is my normal speaking voice, of course. And then I'll put a little twang when I need to. Which is not forced. I'll try and do an inning in my normal accent. See if it makes a difference. I just feel like it can. Leading off is Felton Snow. Batting .303, 2 home runs, 17 RBIs. Snow to face Carlton. Concepcion is on deck. Runner on first. Here is the 2-2. And Snow swings. It's popped up. And Clift will chase it. And he can't come up with it. It's into the stands. Snow steps in again. Here's the 2-2. And Felton Snow swings and misses. That's one out. So Steve Carlton has also got 8 strikeouts. This is a match-up of the 2 great strikeout pitchers. One of the 70s and one of the 80s. Concepcion steps in. He's 0 for 3. See, I can't do it until I 20 it again. Aaron on deck. Man on first. Here's the 0-1. And Concepcion grounds it to Renteria, who boots it. And Ramirez will be safe at second. Concepcion safe at first. Aaron number 21 on Renteria. Shot goes out to Carlton. I think Carlton's due to come out at any time now. He's got a pitch count of 140. Carlton gets a sign. Here's the 0-1. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball and a blooper between third and short. Renteria dives and makes the catch. Oh, Edgar Renteria, another one of my favorite players in this league. It's funny, you play the league, you get attached to players that you never thought you would. And on this team, Harlan Clift, Renteria, I always like Ray Shock anyway. He's on one of my red bolts from the Ned McGreevy League on Beatles Eternalist channel. Here's Carlton now. Puts 130 pitches, due to come out. The bullpen is warming up. 2 out here at the top of the 8th inning. Dunlap steps in. He's 0 for 3. Carlton toes the rubber. Here's the 2-1. And a deep fly ball to the left field. Robinson going back. And he catches it right at the ivy. End of the inning. Of the half inning. After 7.5. Detroit 6. Des Moines nothing. So Des Moines are trying to chip away. Bobby Gritch was lead off. Bobby walked in the 3rd and grounded short in the 5th. He's 0 for 1. Gooden still on the mound. There's the 0-2 and a deep fly ball down the left field line. This one is gone. Wow, that was way out of here. Home run number 7 for Bobby Gritch. And that one went yard. 405 foot down the left field line. And Des Moines get on the board. Score 6-1. Just praising Dwight Gooden for the performance today. And he gives up a big one. Luckily, nobody was on board. Here's Sharp 0 for 2. Here's the 0-1. Grounder to short. Concepcion gloves it over the first. Got him. Brings up Harlan Clift. Harlan just slipping a bit now. 0 for 3 today. First offer from Gooden. A fly ball towards center field. Hack Wilson will have it. Hack having a good game. And that is 2 away. Gooden on 99 pitches. Stepping in there with Todd Helton, 0 for 1. He's walked twice. 3-1 to Helton, and Todd Helton, a tough out. Walks to first, base on balls. Gooden giving a 4th walk. And the crowd get animated for Frank Robinson. Frank 1 for 3 today. Man on first. Here's the 1-0 from Gooden. And the umpire has called a balk. Now that's a rule I do not understand. Someone one day will explain that rule to me. So here come the Des Moine Demons. Frank Robinson, 1 for 3. There's a 3-0. Gooden deals. Too high now. Frank Robinson will take his place. 5th walk for Gooden. So Gooden clearly tiring now. And Giancarlo Stanton steps in. Stanton 0 for 3 today. Man on first and second. Here's a 3-2. And he misses the plate again. Up and in. And Stanton will go to first. Bases loaded for the Demons. They got 2 men out though in the bottom of the 8th. And here's Mr. Clutch. I'm going to call it. Edgar Renteria steps up to the plate. 1 for 3 today. Bases loaded. Here's the 0-2 from Dwight Gooden, and he struck him out. Dwight Gooden struck him out with his 11th strikeout of the ball game. That one there was a bit high leverage. Struck him out. So we've played 8. Detroit 6, Des Moines 1. And we look here, and it's Barry Bonds leading off the top of the 9th inning. There's the 2-0 from Carlton. Popped up to first, and Helton will have it. So Steve Carlton has pitched the whole ball game. He's pitched 137 pitches. The manager hasn't changed him. He has only given up 6 earned runs. That's his limit, though, so the AI made a decision to keep him in there. If he gave up one more, he'd be out. He's going to come out anyway if he gets to 140. McGuire now batting. Carlton stares in. Here's a 2-0 from lefty. High fly ball to center field. Andrew Jones running in shallow, and he'll have it. So that's 2 away. Brings up Hack Wilson. Hack Wilson. Deputizing for Joe DiMaggio. He's had a single and a home run. Here's the 3-0 from lefty, low and outside, and Hack was taking all the way. And now the manager's coming out, Rob Thomason to the mound. It's time for Carlton to get out of there. So they may have to waste a pitcher. Even with 1 out. We'll have to bring in Bullet Joe Rogan from the bullpen. It was a lefty lineup. Who hasn't pitched? Vaughn Gregg. So just looking at the lineup there, who to bring in? Bullet Joe Rogan, possibly. Who's coming up? Bench is a righty. Ramirez is a righty. So it's got to be a right-hander. Yeah, Bullet Joe. You'll do. So Bullet Joe Rogan, a Negro Leaguer, comes to the mound. Just to get that out. Johnny Bench at the plate. He's doubled and hit a 2-run homer. Runner on first. And 1-1 to count. And Bench takes this down the left field line. And Frank Robinson will have it. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 8.5, we go to the bottom of the 9th. Can the Demons come back? Gooden still on the mound, looking for the complete game. Bowman on the mound. There's the 2-2. Bowman at the plate, I should say. And as stroked in the center field, Hack Wilson stumbles to the ball. Not the best center fielder is Hack Wilson. And Bowman on first. Brings up Andrew Jones. Now I've got to make a call here. Andrew Jones is really not the man. But I'll let it play itself out. Nothing for 3 today. Here's the runner on first. Gooden checks the run. Here's the 2-2. Grounder straight up the middle. Concepcion to Dunlap. Dunlap to McGuire. Double play. So Gooden helping his cause to go the distance, because now it's only Bobby Grich between him and a game where he's pitched pretty well and had 11 strikeouts. Grich in the batter's box. Gooden gets a sign from bench. Kicks and fires. Fastball. Grich and Bobby Grich hits it to right field, base hit. And now Gooden is on 136 pitches. The rolls are the rolls. 2 out. Could let him have a complete game. I think Steve would leave him in there. I think Steve would. I'll give him one more chance. Shock, 0 for 3. Steps in. 1 man on, runner on first. Gooden keeps the runner close. Here's the 1-0. And a grounder to third. Snow has it over to Dunlap. And that is the ball game. Good decision to get Gooden in there. Great play there by Snow at third. And that is the ball game. Detroit 6, Des Moines 1. It was tight until the top of the 6th inning, and Detroit broke it open. Hack Wilson in relief of Joe DiMaggio, 2 for 4, with a home run. Johnny Bench had a big home run. Hank Aaron went 2 for 5 with yet another Hank Aaron home run. He's so consistent. Batting .336 now. I think he's got the highest batting average on Detroit. Des Moines, Bobby Grich in a slump, but he still got a home run. I think if Des Moines could just get a bat for Andrew Jones and Ray Schalk, there's no question the defensive ability. But I think Des Moines made trouble a few. Gooden, with excellent performance, 9 innings pitched, gave up just 6 hits, 1 earned run, had 11 strikeouts. And he had plus stuff. There was no question he stuffed today, I could see that. Carlton drops to 8-8. Good performance all the same. Gave up 5 earned runs. That's why he didn't get pulled. If he gave up 6, he'd have been out of there. Makes complete sense. Rob, if you're watching. So, end of the ball game. So what we'll do now is, as I've done a broadcast, just play out the week. So go to exhibition. So John, if you're still there. Sorry, John. D. Scott. I'll get them mixed up all the time. Here's no sound for D. Scott. D. Scott, if you're still there, this is your team. Frankie Fresh is out until October, so it's pretty much done for the season. Stan Hack is out until August, another week or so. Babe Herman is out. Wow. There you are. If you want to make any changes, let me know. Gosh, this is not good. Johnny Wright's your ace. He's been outstanding, 15-9. He's been told Ramsey's done well. Fred Anderson, this is the guy I saw the other night. He's pitched well. Oops. He's pitched well. So, without further ado, let's play out the week. So, go to scheduled league games. Moving on for Beatles. So, we've got box. Cleveland, Hawaii. So, Hawaii at Cleveland. And Cleveland stop Hawaii in their trek. So, it's getting tight. Some teams going on some runs here. Juan Soto's really cooled off. Went off. Well, it looks like he's injured. Only had 1 at bat. Oscar Charleston, 2 for 5. Chino Smith, 2. So they've really cooled off again. Now, Lajoie has definitely come to the fore. Looks like they've had a couple of injuries there, looking at Hawaii. Verlander drops to 9-8. But Cleveland with the great Heavy Johnson at 319. Ted Lazusi's just getting warmed up. That looks like Jackie Robinson went 1 for 2 with a home run, two walks. Albert Bell went 2 for 4 with a double. Heavy Johnson had 2 doubles. Pitching, not catching. Verlander went 6 innings with 6 hits and 4 earned runs, but in a losing effort. And it looks like Wilberwood went 9 innings. Wow, this is a great performance. Gave up just 4 hits. So they were stymied by a great performance by Wilberwood, who had his stuff today. So, without further ado, all of the games played today are done. So what I'm going to do is fast forward to Sunday the 9th. So here we go. Just fast forwarding it so the Beatles can pick us. Another week's gone. Looking at the league, Detroit still ahead of Jersey. Doesn't look like anything's changed really. Mudville is still in it, just. Ooh, it's close because Jersey are one out of Detroit, Manchester in the league in there as well. So that week's coming to an end. North Sound beat Manchester. North Sound doing a little bit of a run. And that should do it. Here we are. So, a little shift, not much, but a little shift. There's a teams even out now at the middle of August, so that's where I'll stop it. So, fast forwarding on a week from where I stopped. So, I went from the 5th to the 9th. It seemed like longer, but it wasn't. Okay, that's that. Just get out of there. Let's look at some league leaders, shall we, just from here. Fred Dunlap. Oh, that can't be right. Sometimes it has this glitch with Dunlap, I don't know why. Let's have a look here, leaders. Let it update. Norm Cash still leading with a 348 batting average. And there's the lineups there, as you can see. With home runs. Well, the home run leader at the moment is Mark McGuire with 36. Johnny Bench with 34. Babe Ruth is in the top 5 now with 29. It's interesting to see Babe Ruth up there again. And in terms of batting, average versus lefties, Mike Piazza's leading the league. OPS, Cash and Bonds and Soto and Fox and Hornsby. Rogers Hornsby's suddenly come out of nowhere. Pitching, not catching. So pitching wise, Johnny Wright leads in ERA from North Sound. If you're still a Toad Ramsey in the top 9. Any Manchester guys in there, Hecker's in there, but he's resting now. Zach Greinke, Spud Chandler. In terms of home runs given up, Guidry is the worst, and he's at 46. Taylor's given up. In fact, Badlands, look at that. It doesn't surprise me with the league there, with the stadium they're playing in. So Guidry, Tiant, and Zito have given up 46, 42, and 42 home runs. That is incredible. North Sound, ironically, Johnny Wright, though he's leading the league in ERA, he's actually given up 40 home runs, as does Verlander and my Juan Marichal. I don't think either has got the better deal, T. Scott Howard, when it came to Marichal for Koufax. That was a lose-lose all the way around. Aris, I don't think that's right. So here's a look at the league table again. Now it's better. So it's updated. Detroit have a 2-game lead, only fast forward in a week. Jersey are 2 games back. Manchester are 6 games back. Hawaii 9 games back, so it's tightening up at the top. Mudville, Cleveland, Des Moines are next. And North Sound, Arlington, and of course Badlands bring up the rear. So any changes that are needed, please let me know. But that's a look at the leaders in both leagues. I think Detroit, you might want to bring back Joe Jackson. He's back from injury. Okay. So there's Wee Willie Keeler in the top 10. Bob Lloyd in the top 10. Guy Hecker, look at Hecker. Yeah, it's my boy. But I can't use him anymore because he's over his stats usage. If I keep using him, at least for the next couple of weeks, I have to keep him out of the lineup. In fact, not even on the roster, because he'll get penalized. So I'll try and save him for the end of the season. So, without further ado, thank you very much, everybody, this morning. I will hand this back to Beatles. Beatles will be called Uncle 2, so we'll switch from the tribute to Cecil Fielder to the man from Uncle, Robert Vaughn. So we'll call this Uncle 2. Right, okay, so thank you very much, anyone who's joined. So thank you very much, Christopher Slovic. Thank you very much, D. Scott Howard. Thank you very much, everyone else who might have popped in at different times. This is just a morning broadcast. I'll put it in Discord for those who might not even be awake yet and sloozing on a Sunday or going to church. I finished my bits this morning, so I shall leave it there. I may come back later, though, with a little taste of that baseball game, the other one. Oh, what's it called? It's so much fun. Super Mega Baseball I've actually created a couple of players in like Bobby Mercer and a few others recently. That's been fun. It's a bit wacky because cartoonish in looks, but make no mistake, the franchise mode is deep, incredibly deep. I haven't played the franchise mode this year, but I did play it last year. I was pleasantly surprised. There's players in it this year, real players like Babe Ruth's in there, and a whole host of players. But they're not hard to make. I mean, I made Bobby Mercer, I made Yogi Berra, I made Mickey Mantle. They're not hard to make. In fact, I will definitely do one afterwards to show this later on this afternoon, British time. So maybe in about 4 hours time before everyone gets going in America, North America. All right, so thank you very much for everyone coming in. Thank you very much for paying attention and just chipping in with a kind word here and there. I shall see